Meeting for Monday, October the 24th, 2016. Clerk, please call the roll.
Calling the roll, Mr. Greenspan. Here. Mr. Miller. Here. Mr. Germana. Here. Mr. Gallagher. Here. Mr. Schron. Here. Ms. Conwell. Here. Mr. Jones. Here. Ms. Brown. Here. Mr. Hairston. Here. Ms. Simon. And President Brady. There is a quorum.
Okay, we have quorum. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under number 4, under silent meditation, just like us to meditate on how incredible it is that the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs are playing the World Series in Cleveland tomorrow night. So, meditate on that. Hope it helps. Okay, is there any public comment related to the agenda?
There is not, Mr. President.
All right. I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes for October the 11th Committee of the Whole and October the 11th regular meeting. Been moved and seconded. Has it been seconded? I'll second it. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes have been approved. Announcement by the Council President. This is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. It is a national campaign that takes place every year in October to celebrate the contribution of workers with disabilities and educate them about the importance of a diverse workforce, inclusion of their skills and talent. We welcome Nancy Seidel, Vice Chair of the Cuyahoga County Advisory Committee on Persons with Disabilities. I'd like to thank Ms. Seidel and the Advisory Board for all the work they've done on this very important issue, and we have a proclamation for you. And do you have a statement?
Sure, I do. Well, I'd like to say thank you to the County Council and to County Executive Budish. Very excited that we have the Cavs starting they're opening their season tomorrow downtown Cleveland, along with the Indians kicking off the World Series tomorrow in downtown Cleveland. So we're going to see a lot of people in Cuyahoga County, City of Cleveland, this week in general. And that means we're going to have a huge influx of people in hotels, at the entertainment venues. We're going to be seeing a lot of different changes being made to people's services that are getting from county. Maybe we need to rearrange some meetings. And I'd like to think for a second about what that means to a person with a disability. Entertainment venues, hotels, things like that, county buildings, all the different things that are involved in all of this. That means access to those services that the people who have disabilities need. Our county committee was able to be involved with the construction phases of the Progressive Field, the Q, and the Hilton. We were able to have some input on how those buildings were going to grant people with disabilities access. And that's not just good for people traveling and staying, that's good for the employees too, because access is key for those individuals. RTA, we have a number of members from our county committee on the boards at RTA, and those are individuals who are giving input on things like use of the rapid stations, making sure they're accessible, making sure that we have access on the fixed bus routes, and also the paratransit services. And again, that means people being able to get to entertainment venues, spending their money downtown, but also working downtown and earning an income so that they can support their families, support their households. The county administration building, the Justice Center, we also had the ability to have input on the construction phases of these buildings as well. And that, again, the people who are getting the services, the access, the physical access, the communication access, and just the ability to get to these buildings easily. Those are all very important to people with disabilities because they are also typically accessing services that the county does help to provide. Our Social Issues Subcommittee is also working hard on trying to determine the needs of mature employees in the county, mature people who live in the county, trying to make sure that all the access needs are being met, that we're going above and beyond to help those individuals as well. In the United States, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said in 2015 that of working age individuals, people with disabilities were only had 17.5% of the population working, whereas their counterparts, people without disabilities, had approximately 65% of individuals working, whether that be full-time or part-time income. 32% of people with disabilities who are employed only work part-time, and a majority of people would say that that is because they still needed access to a lot of the benefits and services that they're getting. So there are a lot of things that make it more difficult for a person with a disability to gain employment, and that's what this month is all about, is making sure that we're recognizing the efforts of the individuals who are attempting to gain employment and overcome the barriers of their disabilities. Over the years, our subcommittee has worked closely with county departments like Workforce Development, which I'm a part of, County Human Resources. We also have worked with other boards of the county, the Board of DD, the Developmental Disabilities, the Adams Board, and also state and federal vocational rehabilitation programs that help individuals with disabilities as well as veterans with disabilities. And we'd like to make a special thank you to the county for going above and beyond when it comes to services for people with disabilities. The county has chosen to use universal design standards over accepting the ADA's minimal requirements when it comes to providing access to people with disabilities. Universal design is great for all stages of life. And we like to use the common example of, think about curb cuts. They're great for a person with a wheelchair so that they can navigate the streets easily, but it's also great for a mom with a stroller or a dad with a stroller. The committee has worked to help employees with disabilities whose ability levels have changed over their lifetime to maintain their employment with Cuyahoga County, as well as making sure that their access to employment with Cuyahoga County in the hiring process is as smooth and accessible as possible. And the county has also been great about supporting our annual proclamations and fostering our collaborations with various boards and other agencies in the county. So I'd like to say thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Nancy, very much. And Clerk, I believe you have a proclamation for the council for Ms. Seidel. All right, congratulations. All right, messages from the county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We're just going to start calling you CE, right? We've been trying to figure out what do you call a county executive?
That's a good question, which nobody has yet figured out completely.
Well, I call it CE now.
I won't try to make a joke about that. So this week we have the Cavs opener and we have the World Series Game 1 here. But we also have the Cleveland Clinic's Medical Innovation Summit this week here at our convention center and Global Center for Health. As you all know and have supported, we've been working to create an innovation continuum here in Cuyahoga County. This medical summit has 2,000 registrants. It's the largest registration yet for the summit. Vice President Biden came in to kick it off this morning, and he talked about the cancer moonshot that he's leading. Innovation leaders from companies and organizations from all over the world are here this week for this summit. They're learning about our tremendous healthcare innovations going on right here, as well as filling our hotel rooms and spending money in our restaurants. So this is a big week for Cuyahoga County. Thankfully, the Innovation Summit registration and hotels were before the World Series was announced. Otherwise, we might have a lot of healthcare professionals from around the world staying out in Avon. So thankfully, they're downtown. That's my report, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, legislation introduced by the council, consideration of a resolution of council for first reading, adoption, or suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The rules are suspended. All right, clerk, do you read?
Resolution number 2016-0193, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities and Ohio Association of Public School Employees, Local 744, affiliated with Association of Federal, State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, Chapter 744, representing approximately 71 employees in 4 classifications and transportation services for the period January 1, 2017 through December 31, 2019.
This item was previously discussed in executive session, and the council will take no action. Legislation introduced by the executive. I need a consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
And seconded, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2016-0194, amending the 2016-2017 biennial operating budget for 2016 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations for appropriation transfers and for cash transfers.
Motion to adopt.
Any comments?
Mr. President, this is our standard biweekly fiscal agenda item. Before the members of council are questions submitted to the administration with the appropriate responses, and I urge my colleagues for their support.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2016-0195, authorizing a contract with Emerald Development and Economic Network Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $716,955 for administration of the fiscal year 2015 Supportive Housing Program, Rapid Rehousing Permanent Housing Program for single adults and youth for the period October 1, 2016 through September 30, 2017.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Through the chair, council, Ruth Gillette, Office of Homeless Services. I just wanted to thank you very much for considering this contract for first reading under suspension of the rules on tonight's agenda. The funding for the contract in the amount of $716,955 is 100% from a new federal grant awarded to Cuyahoga County from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Through this grant and contract, for the first time since 2012, the community will have funding for rapid rehousing rental assistance for homeless single adults and youth. You may be thinking that's great, but why is there a need to expedite this item? Well, I can answer that question. Between November 2015, when the grant application was submitted, and now, Cuyahoga County has embarked on a focused strategy to end youth homelessness. Because of the work that has been done and the partnerships in place, Cuyahoga County has been chosen as one of 3 cities nationally to participate in a 100-day challenge to end youth homelessness. The kickoff event was in early September, with mid-December as the target end date. Being selected as one of 3 cities for the challenge is a great honor, an acknowledgement of the good work that's being done here, but it did not include any resources to accomplish this goal. In Cuyahoga County, we have been fortunate with the timing of the grant award to be able to have the resources to rapidly house homeless youth identified through the outreach process and to have an experienced provider and shelter community that can immediately link clients with housing locators, inspections, rent assistance, and case management to maintain housing. The contract is for a 12-month period with great likelihood for renewal funding through the 2016 application process. I'm happy to answer any contract questions, and Elaine Gimmel, Chief Operating Officer of Emerald Development and Economic Network, is also here to represent the agency, if there's any questions.
Thank you, Ruth. The questions and the answers. Are there any further questions?
Mr. Chairman, I'll just add,
Yes, Councilman.
because of the short window to take advantage of these funds, we are on for first reading adoption, and we heard about these dollars in Health and Human Services Committee as a discussion item, simply so that the committee could ask questions at that time. So I do support and ask for my colleagues' support for this item.
Thank you. Councilman Harrison has asked that his name be added to the legislation.
Like my name added.
Simon,
And mine as well, I expect it to be there already. But
Jones. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Thank you, Ruth. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2016-0196, authorizing a revenue generating agreement with Corporate Wings Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $1 million for lease of hangar space located at the Cuyahoga County Airport for the period September 1, 2016 through August 31, 2026.
Will be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2016-0197, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1500-375 with Turner Ozanne Joint Venture for design builder services for the Huntington Park Garage Rehabilitation Project for the period December 7, 2015 through December 2, 2016 to establish a guaranteed maximum price in the amount not to exceed $22,711,693.
Also be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2016-0198, making an award on requisition number 37936 to Highland Group Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1,445,000 for insurance brokerage and risk management services for the period January 1, 2017 through December 31, 2017.
So referred to Finance and Budgeting.
Resolution number 2016-0199, authorizing an amendment to agreement number AG 14087 with Educational Service Center of Cuyahoga County for fiscal and administrative services for the Help Me Grow Bright Beginnings home visiting program for the period July 1, 2014 through June 30, 2016 to extend the time period to September 30, 2016 and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $470,438. Additionally, Councilmember Hairston would like to be added as a sponsor.
All right, we'll refer this to Education and Environment.
Resolution number 2016-0200, authorizing an agreement with Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County in the amount not to exceed $1,339,104 for the Early Childhood Mental Health Program for the period January 1, 2016 through December 31, 2017. Additionally, Councilmember Hairston would like to be added as a sponsor to this legislation.
This will also be referred to Education and Environment.
Resolution number 2016-0201, authorizing a contract with Starting Point in the amount not to exceed $600,000 for the out-of-school time program for the period October 1, 2016 through January 31, 2017. Additionally, Councilmember Hairston would like to be added as a sponsor to this legislation.
I don't know who's going to be the busiest, the Chairman Simon or Councilman Harrison. This will be referred to Education and Environment.
Mr. President,
Councilman Miller.
I would like to ask that my name also be added to numbers 199, 200, and 201.
Got that, Clerk?
Yes.
All righty. Committee report and consideration of a resolution for second reading.
Resolution number 2016-0137, authorizing an electric service agreement with City of Cleveland, Department of Public Utilities, Division of Cleveland Public Power in the amount not to exceed $68 million for electric power services for various county-owned buildings for the period September 1, 2016 through May 1, 2028. Additionally, this item was referred out of committee, so it's no longer pending committee recommendation.
All right, this item will move to the 11/15/2016 Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolution for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. The motion to suspend the rules is adopted.
Resolution number 2016-0190, authorizing a First Amendment to lease and right of first refusal agreement with the Board of Park Commissioners of the Cleveland Metropolitan Park District for county-owned property on the Flats East and West Banks located at 1170 Old River Road, Cleveland, for a term of 99 years by adding permanent parcel number 003-16-029 located adjacent to the intersection of Main Avenue and Center Street underneath the Cleveland Memorial Shoreway.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, this was heard in Public Works. This property is underneath the bridge, and this is going to the use of Cleveland Metro Parks. So we move that, I hope that all council approves this.
Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2016-0191, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1300-548 with Merisufum for lease of office space in the Marion Building located at 1276 West 3rd Street, Cleveland, for the period December 1, 2013 through October 31, 2016, to extend the time period to October 31, 2017, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,108,668.60.
Move to adopt.
It's been moved and seconded.
This is an additional year on a lease, 1,108. 666. We recommend approval.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2016-0179, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires culvert replacement of Bradley Road Culvert C-00.67 over French Creek in the city of North Olmsted. Total estimated project cost $756,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement.
Move to adopt. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
This is heard in committee. We recommend approval.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2016-0180, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires culvert replacement of Bradley Road Culvert C-05.44 over Walker Ditch in the city of Westlake. Total estimated project cost $581,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
Move to adopt.
Any comments?
Mr. Chairman, again, this was heard in committee, and we recommend approval.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2016-0181, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires culvert replacement of Lindbergh Boulevard Culvert C-00.93 over a creek to west branch of Rocky River in the city of Olmsted Falls. Total estimated project cost $744,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement.
Move to adopt.
Moved and seconded.
Mr. Chairman, again, this has been heard in committee, and we recommend approval.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2016-0184, approving right-of-way plans as set forth in plat number M-5025 for reconstruction with additional turning lanes of Royalton Road from West 130th Street to York Road in the city of North Royalton, authorizing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to acquire said necessary rights-of-way, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement.
To adopt.
Moved and seconded.
Yeah, finally, this is another piece of legislation that was heard fully in committee, and we recommend approval.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. The committee was very busy. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance for third reading adoption.
Ordinance number 2016-0012, amending section 303.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code to update the Civil Service Code of Cuyahoga County as amended.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. Chair, there were some technical and grammatical errors that were fixed in the ordinance, and all parties, which include the Human Resources Department, the Personnel Review Commission, and Council, are all in agreement of amending the section 303.01. So we ask that the committee of a whole pass the passage.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Miscellaneous committee reports. Councilman Greenspan.
Mr. President, Finance and Budget Committee meeting will meet on 11/7 at 1 p.m. to hear the item referred to committee.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, the Public Works Committee will meet on November 2nd, 10 o'clock.
Safety, November 1st, 1 o'clock.
All right. Anybody else?
Health and Human Services will meet November 3rd at 1 p.m. to deal with the item referred today. Yes, that's correct.
Education Environment, November 2nd at 3.
All right, is there any other miscellaneous business before the council? Public comment unrelated to the agenda.
Mr. President, Reverend Pinckney Butts.
Good evening, everybody. I hope all is well. I wanted to address your item, resolutions 2016-200 about the early childhood mental health program. And I wanted to ask you to stop doping up all of these children. Please. All these children who may have mental health issues, some of them are due to trauma and tragedy, but doping them up to make them think it's going to go away by being sedated does not make it change. These children need other solutions. And I'm asking you to stop medicating everybody and filling up with a bunch of drugs. I know you see my grandchildren running around here right now. And it's a mystery that they're even alive for what we've been through. And I haven't found a place suitable yet to put my grandchildren in terms of academia, and someone who would be suitable to care for them as a result of our being abused. Drugs doesn't make things go away. It doesn't change it, it doesn't fix it, and it doesn't settle it. If that were the case, then we wouldn't be having this battle that we're having on prescription drugs that we have that's being addressed. I need you to go sit down. Words have more power than guns, drugs, or anything else. And if, in fact, children are faced with mental health issues, which sometimes is not even a mental health issue, sometimes it's just a matter of some things that are not being addressed. Some of these children don't even have parents in their homes. And I'm asking you to please look at that. I come to you this evening also because I've been a presidential candidate 3 elections in Cuyahoga County. And my campaign has been not only overlooked, but I've been being abused for being a candidate. Councilman Germana, not only did people laugh at me and mock me for coming to you all in reference to my family matters that I brought to you all several times, but they have literally made my ballots disappear in elections and told me at the Board of Elections they know they've messed up and they're doing nothing to correct it. I could go back and forth and fight with people, but that's not who I am, neither is it what I do. I'm a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And when I go even to settings, like what Executive Budish was very disrespectful to me at a Democratic Club meeting recently. And I'm from Cleveland and Cuyahoga County. I don't crash events. I'm not disruptive. I'm not disrespectful. But I'm attacked when I walk through the door, Council President Brady, for being a woman of color, for being a Christian, for the different things that people perceive me to be and the things that I already am. And it's time out for that. Hillary Clinton hasn't hit the pavement here. Neither has Donald Trump or any of these other candidates. I'm asking that you all would review this if you have to stop the electoral process, because it's not fair to me.
Thank you, Reverend Pinckney. Thank you very much.
And
Thank you for your listening to me.
Sure.
Mr. Steve Leparo.
Evening, everybody. I'm Reverend Pinckney's campaign manager. What I want to talk about is why I'm helping Reverend Pamela M. Pinckney Butts with this presidency. I've gained interest in the political world for the last 8 years and come to fully grasp the relationship between government, business, and media, and see opportunity for some corrections that need to be made. My generation and those that are following have been witnesses and product of an agenda to desensitize the public to violence and war as just a way of life, to program the masses to become distracted and seek forms of escaping this reality, such as drugs, drinking, sports, and television, while not focusing on matters of real importance. not towards education and critical thinking. Some would call this program satanic. That is how we are where we are, and the country is not at peace. I am a young white male who is disappointed with what I have witnessed and experienced? Who will step up to break the cycle of warfare, wastefulness, mindlessness, and unite the country in spirit and aim? That is why I was happy to meet Reverend Pamela Pinckney Butts, who also notices this agenda. The last sentences of her speech, when we met at Public Square, were, "It is time for peace, pursue it." Her passion for peaceful negotiations is what resonated with me, to help her in a world that knows conflict is the only solution. We spent nearly $600 billion last year on military spending, more than half of the federal discretionary spending. How is it that a country that can be broke and cities unable to meet basic budget needs can spend this much to destroy the property of others? Women in our country have been disrespected and neglected for too long. Reverend Pinckney is a multiracial woman who is doing something new and makes people feel uncomfortable to see someone who is outspoken and speaks the truth. Her children were taken from her while she was held captive. She's been bullied, blocked, harassed, beat up, and tortured for running for president these past 3 elections. There are documents to prove this. She has been labeled mentally ill, which has been a shield for law enforcement and in the judicial process. We have documentation that she was misdiagnosed. She is being stalked, harassed, her character assassinated, her civil and constitutional rights violated. There is a conspiracy against her to silence her voice. It was Magistrate Anthony Calabrese who told me she was a good person. He saw the foul play that was involved with her and is willing to assist in clearing her name. Cleveland police have been called 7 times on one stalker, thief, and person who assaulted her and her 3-year-old grandchild. He has not been arrested. I was there for the 6th and 7th time. The 6th time, the officers who arrived at the scene did nothing. They didn't even write anything down.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
I didn't get everything.
This is not a forum for political speeches or campaigning. The county council is adjourned.
That's not a political speech or campaign.
There's no helping him.